This video is to talk you through assignment 001 for LE4900. The assignment is 40% coursework, as we can see here. It's group work, and it's a presentation for 15 minutes long. The deadline is for the 16th of November 2017. And your presentation schedule will be published via Moodle, and seminar paper is due on the day of your seminar presentation. So that means basically you need to have your presentation handed in before the presentation, obviously. Okay, so in groups of four, and we're quite specific about how big we want your group to be, you are to make a presentation of 15 minutes on the following topics. So your group, your values, and your patterns of consumption in the course that you're doing, experiences. So basically, any kind of experiences that are related to your course. I want you to talk about who you are and what your values are and your patterns of consumption in terms of buying those experiences or using those experiences or being involved in those experiences. What's important to you guys? What do you look for when you're looking for experience in those fields? And what do you think for you are the really important things that those organisers need to demonstrate? Okay, and that should be about 5 minutes long, and just be a kind of rough outline. You don't need to go into massive amounts of detail here. Okay, and then the second part is factors that influence our choice of your course again, experiences. So basically, when we've looked at, in terms of marketing, the things that influence your choices, it's basically the same thing, but thinking and reflecting for yourselves as a group, what are those things that actually influence our choice? Is there a particular type of marketing that influences us? Is it word of mouth? Is it things we see on the TV? Is it the fact that we've been to those things before? Is it what our peer groups tell us? So just reflect on those, and again, quite a brief explanation of that. And basically, also reflecting in the classroom sessions, identify the factors that influence your choice of leisure experiences in your field of study. So again, it's sort of looking inwards and thinking about actually what are those things that influence our decisions relating to the field. And then thirdly, our reflection on how, and then I want you to choose an organisation or company is delivering sustainable experiences, and again related to your course. So basically, you guys pick a organisation or company and then explain how they're delivering sustainable experiences, and that can be sustainable in many different ways, in terms of financially, in terms of environmentally, in terms of management of resource, and that could include people as well. So if you look further down, the notes say, choose a company from your sector that you feel you have an affinity towards as a group. So a company that you guys all agree that you like. With reference to the concepts of both values and self and consumer behaviour, and also the theory underpinning sustainability, explain how this company's operations and products has a positive resonance with you. So in terms of what we've talked about, myself and Dr. Harper talked to you about in terms of values and self. So what are emotional drivers, the things that we are drawn towards, our morals, our ethics, our societal values, the ideas of self. So some of that can include some psychological theory, and basically, explain why you like those things. So it's quite, although this sounds like, this is quite wordy, actually it's just asking you to say, why do you think that those companies do something that you like the sound of? So what we need here, because obviously, we need some academic evidence, so we need some evidence of both theory and company practice. So examples of what the company have done, and you might take that off of their website or some news clips, and then we need you to link that in with some of the theory that we've talked about and that's in the core textbook. This is the important one. Group members should contribute equally to the presentation. So we want to see you all take part in it. You are all being marked on your presentation skills, so that's going to contribute to the marking, and that means that you have to take part in that presentation equally. You may use aide-memoirs, but are expected to talk freely instead of reading out to your notes. So you can use slides, you can use posters, you can use any kind of material that you want to show, but obviously we don't want you to then just talk from a sheet of paper or from your iPhone or something where you've got a script written out. We want you to talk freely. All prescribed presentation elements carry an equal weighting. The presentation should include an introduction and concluding summary. So these things just need to be very short, so they don't need to be overly complex or long. But remember that each part of the elements have an equal weighting, so you need to give each part an equal amount of time and also an equal amount of research. Your slides must be professionally presented, i.e. contain an appropriate amount of bullet points, table, figures or images, no prose. And I think really when we talk about that, if you look at the way that we present our slides, we could use that as an example. I would say particularly when you look at my slides, I try not to use bullet points at all actually. And you know, my preference would be for where you can use visual elements and a small amount of text to portray your message clearly, and then present independently that information to me. That's always much more engaging. And all material must be accurately referenced using the following using Harvard conventions. So that's the standard system that we have within the university for referencing all of your assignments. And more information about that is available from the help zone. So if you wanted to find out how you need to do Harvard convention referencing, the help zone will be able to help you do that. So if you're using any kind of complicated software, such as Prezi or non-standard sound or video formats, you need to make sure that they can run off the university computers. So practice first. I would really recommend that, particularly practice with one of the machines in Oxtalls, so that you know that it's going to run off of those machines. Sometimes they can be a bit temperamental, and there's nothing more stressful than turning up for a presentation and then finding out that it doesn't work. Obviously that's going to put an undue amount of stress on you and ultimately will affect your assignments. So practice and make sure it works. Okay. You may use your own laptop, but check that you have access to the network. And obviously, if you use your laptop as well, make sure that you have the right cables to connect to projectors if you're going to use the projector. Again, there's nothing worse turning up than having your turning up to a presentation and having your laptop not be able to work, because then you won't be able to do your presentation properly. And then finally, be prepared to answer questions from the marking tutors at the end of your presentation. So there will be a quick question and answer session just to clarify any points that you've made that we want to find out more about, and just to see the kind of level of your understanding of the question. So the presentation must be supplemented by an annotated bibliography that cites no less than 12 academic and journalistic sources. The bibliography should not exceed 1,000 words. So we are expecting you to do a fair amount of research for this as well, and bring in a fair amount of theory. So although it's about you and your actual kind of emotional responses to things, your feelings about things, we also want you to reflect on how those are talked about in different theories as well. So we need to bring it back to that academic level. Okay, so that should be fairly clear for you. It's just those three simple questions, 5 minutes each if you think about it, and basically it's using the course that you're on and how those things are reflected, the course that you're on, and how in the course that you are doing, those activities, those experiences that companies provide are reflected in that, and how you might be persuaded to use those experiences. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.